Okay, this one is the complete workspace where we are going to create one animation. But before creating any animation, we need some assets. Like we need some elements that we can helps to create any animation. So from where we can get that elements, first of all, we are going to search on the Google. And for that, we need a PNG images like the image without the background. Just for the example, I'm going to take a one flower image, flower, but in the PNG format. I simply search the PNG flowers in the PNG. These are some websites. You can get some images from here and also from the Google search. I'm going to select this one image and then simply click on the side click and save image as. When you are going to save an image, here you can see the image type. If the image type is in the PNG format, then this will be good for our animation. But without in the PNG format or in the JPG format, that will not help us. So simply save this image. After that, in our previous lesson, we create a complete composition by simply click on this button, new project. I'm not going to save this one. Click on the composition, add your composition name. I'm going to create a flower animation. From here, we can select we need in the HD format and in other format. These are our dimensions and this one is the frame rate. This will be the same as it is, like we are going to select the pre-default and the default frame. Resolution, I'm going to select the half one and I need animation only for the 10 seconds. And the background is the remain same. If you want, you can change your background from here as well and simply click on the OK. So if we need to import any elements, there are two things. Simply go to the files and then from here you can import files. Other than that, there is another option. You simply need to double click on this portion and this panel. Double click on this panel and I download my flower and that was stored in my download folder. Simply click on this one and import my flower. Here you can see my flowers is imported. And now there are two different things because I need this flower in my composition. One thing is simply I drag this and drop here. And other than that, I'm simply going to press a Control Z because I need undo. Other than that, I'm going to drag this flower and put it here. Okay, when I'm going to put my flower in my layer section, it will show in the middle format, and when I'm going to put that in the directly in my composition, it will don't show me in the middle form. So other than that, here you can see the size of my flower is very large. I need a small one. So how I can do that? You can see there are different anchor points. So I simply click on the one anchor point and just simply drag like that by pressing the shift. Okay, by pressing the shift, drag your composition like this, and your assets will be a small now. Okay, these are other things. If you need to lock your composition, you need to select composition like elements. Now, if I'm going to select this, it will move. But if I need that, this will still on one position, no one will move that simple assets. I'm going to lock this. Now you can see I'm not able to move this flower. Other than that, if I want to hide my one asset, I will simply click on this eye icon. And now you can see this is hide for me. And now when I'm going to click on this drop down icon, simply click on this drop down and these are the transform. In the transform, we have a different type of animations that we can create. Like we can play with their shapes, we can play with their positions, rotations, and opacity. So first of all, I will show you like when I'm going to increase the size of my flower, you can see on the scale section, the points will be going to the change from smaller to the larger one. Okay, other thing is that if I'm going to move this flower, you can see the position format. The points are changed in the position one. And if I need to rotate this, like this one is the rotation. For the rotation, I simply drag like this and you can see the rotation is changed. So now I need a one composition like for the position. Here I want that my flower will move from this point to this point. So how I create this? Simply I put my flower in my starting point and then you can see there is a clock icon. For that, like if I only need a composition and animation for my position one, like from movement one position to another, I just click on this one, the clock icon, and here you can see I get a one keyframe, one starting point. Okay, these are our keyframes, like the starting point and the ending point. And I need that my animations only for the 2 seconds and not more than that. So this is my endpoint. I simply drag this like from my starting point to the 2 seconds. And then after that, I will move my flower from this point to the end point. Okay, like I want this animations will going to be end at this point. Leave like this. Now you can see there are two different keyframes, the starting point and the ending point. So our two keyframes are created for the position one. Simply to play your or animation, there's a one thing you can play from here, and other option is that you can simply press the space button from your keyboard. Here you can see my animation is moved, but still I stop my animation 2 seconds, but my this cursor is still moving till the 20 seconds. So for that, I simply drag my timeline to till 2 seconds. Okay, again press. So here you can go. It will move in the loop format. So it's in the looping format now. To stop that, simply I'm going to press the space again. Other than that, if I need the composition for the scale, like I want that my size will be increased when I'm just again I'm going to drag this in my starting position, and I want that the from this position, and when it's going to the end position, the size of my flower will be increases. So for that, again I'm going to click on this watch icon, and when I'm clicking on the watch icon, here you can notice that my anchor point is created. After that, I'm going to select that point and increase the size of my flower like this. Okay, there's one thing, you can increase the size by selecting these anchors, and you can also increase the size by drag like this. Okay, so let's see what will happen now. Again, I'm going to drag it from my starting point, and here you can see the size of my flower is going to be increases. And now there's a one another thing I need, that when it moves from this starting point to the other point, it will move in the rotation format. So for that, again, I'm going to I'm simply drag this from my starting point. And there's one other thing like that. I need my starting point will start from this point, not from the 0 1. So I move this to the that point, and then I'm going to click on this icon, and then I'm going to pick that from my endpoint. And from here, I can select the rotation, like how much rotation I want. So we can select the rotation from here. Simply like this. Let's see. Move it from my starting point. Again, play, and here you go. Okay, like from till this point, it will be the same, but when it moves to the other point, it will start rotating. Again, I'm going to stop this, and now I need to the opacity. Opacity is simply it will blur the system, like when it moves to that end point, I want that my flowers needs to be a blurry, not the same one. Like when it flower is that point, it is going to be a blur or merge with my background. So for that, again, this one is the starting point. Click on the opacity button, and again I move my cursor to that end point, and then I'm going to select the opacity. Like now it's 100%, but I want that opacity will be like this 27, yeah, 11%. That's fine. Like we saw the blurry of it. Again, move it from the starting point, and here you go. My flower is going to be blurry at the end of the point. Let's see. Okay, this one is simply the anchor points that we can select. Here you go. Like when I'm going to change my anchor points, it moves from one position to the another. Like I'm gonna select this one position to the another. So let's create any animation with that anchor point. I'm going to move my flower at this point, and now I'm going to select the anchor. Anchor is simply from one position to another. That will be my endpoint, and I simply want to change the positions like this. Okay, my flower will go to that point, and again my flower will go to the that point. Okay, for the anchor points, there's a one thing, like we don't only create the one starting and the ending point. Here you can see this one is my starting anchor point for the anchor one. Okay, I will move my flower at this point and I change the anchor position from here. Like here you can see there are two different points, starting and then ending. I move like that, then I again move it to the cursor to the second point, like to this point, and then I move this one, like I move that. You can also move in this point and you can also move like this. Here you can see what will create. Okay, it will move up, down, and then we go to the like this. Okay, this one is the one animations that we can create by using these all the transforms. By using different elements, we can change the elements from here by simply drag and drop, and we can add elements. Like we need to lock something, we need to hide something, we can do it here. And if we have multiple elements, all of the elements are need to be stored here. Simply click on this one, and again I'm going to select this flower, and here you can see and other flowers also stored here. So for that same, you can drag it and drop it here, and you can find the different type of layers. So you can create a composition with multiple elements, with the one elements as much as you want. So these are something, and from here you can find a different type of, like for the alignment, if you need to adjust some audio effects, and if you need to affect a different type of effects. So these are all the things, and here you can see at the top these are some tools that you can use, like if you need to add some text, if you need to add some any shape, rotations, and colors and the tools. So these are all the tools that you can use as well. So that's it for this lesson.